Welcome to... Look, if you've ever canceled plans literally just to stay in, or felt this deep, undeniable wave of relief when you finally closed your front door to the outside world, and this is absolutely for you. Today, I'm kind of stepping into the role of a mentor here, because I want to validate something that society often gets completely backwards. Preferring the comfort of your own space? It's not a weakness, it's not an escape, and it's definitely not a flaw. Actually, it's a profound psychological strength.
Let's really think about that for a second. Have you ever felt judged or, totally misunderstood simply because your ideal evening happens on a couch instead of in a crowd? Think about the world outside for a moment. It just demands so much. It's the exhausting hustle of crowded streets, constant notifications buzzing, the pressure to match everyone else's chaotic energy. It's just this never-ending rushing noise. It moves so incredibly fast. But then, you come home. You close the door, and finally, there's stillness. There's that profound relief of finding your familiar walls. And here's the thing, you aren't avoiding life when you do this. You're actually actively participating in it, just differently.
Okay, let's dive into this. Let's look at the stark contrast here. On one side, we have the outer world. It's loud, it's rushing, it's chaotic. But for a homebody, the other side is what truly matters, an inner world that is vivid, moving, and exceptionally deep. You see, people who love staying at home, they aren't running away from the world. No, they're running toward peace. Their imaginations, their ideas, their emotions, all of it is incredibly active and vibrant right inside their minds. Home isn't some hiding place. It's literally the exact sanctuary where that rich internal world can finally just breathe and expand.
And you know what? There's actual documented science behind this preference. Psychologists identify this beautiful trait as high internal self-presence. Basically, it's the psychological ability to feel more deeply connected to your own vivid inner world than to the external environment around you. Having this specific trait means you simply don't need loud excitement or massive crowds to feel joy. I mean, you can stare out a window, sip a warm cup of coffee, and experience a level of profound fulfillment that other people frantically chase across the globe to find. Your heart doesn't need to beat faster in a packed club to feel alive. It beats steadier and a whole lot happier right there in the silence.
But, it often takes time to accept this about ourselves, doesn't it? So many of us try to force ourselves to fit into that rushing world first. We try to match the energy of friends who are all about constant movement, parties, and nonstop adventure, and well, it just feels unnatural. I absolutely love this personal reflection from my source material today. I began to value the sound of turning pages more than the sound of applause. Just think about the quiet power in that realization. Once you understand that seeking peace is a perfectly valid way of living, you realize that your calm is not a flaw. Your desire for solitude isn't some broken piece of you that needs fixing. It's simply who you are.
Moving on to our next section, the Innovator's Sanctuary, where ideas change the world.
We really need to completely reframe the concept of the home, and this brilliantly illustrates how that sanctuary works in practice. Scientific studies actually show that individuals who enjoy solitude score incredibly high in these specific traits: high creativity, deep empathy, emotional intelligence, and sharp observation. And why is that? Because these absolutely crucial traits require time and silence to fully develop. When we look back at history, it makes perfect sense. Isaac Newton formulated calculus and the laws of motion while isolating at home during the Great Plague. Maya Angelou used to rent a completely barren, quiet hotel room just to write. They weren't standing in loud crowds. They were in quiet rooms, refining the very ideas that would literally go on to change the world. Silence teaches observation, and it builds a kind of strength that absolutely does not need external attention to thrive.
Now let's break down the functional mechanics of your emotional energy management. If we compare the world's chaos right alongside the home sanctuary, the differences are just striking. Out in the world, you're constantly facing overstimulation. But at home, you have complete environmental control. Outside, it's emotional unpredictability. Inside, you have total emotional safety. Outside is just this constant noise. Inside is a steady, stable presence. Your nervous system simply craves the stability and the trust that an easily controlled environment provides. By choosing to stay home, you're managing your space, your time, and your emotions so your energy can finally settle, instead of constantly playing defense against the chaos. But of course, society often mislabels this entirely, right? People say, "Oh, you're missing out," or they automatically assume you must be lonely or bored. Let's clearly distinguish these two concepts to clear up this massive misconception. Look, loneliness is unchosen, it's draining, and it's terribly isolating. Honestly, you can easily be lonely in a crowded room. But solitude? Solitude is chosen. It gives you strength. It provides incredible freedom. True solitude is a deliberate, empowering choice that grants you the absolute freedom to just be yourself, zero performance required.
Society glorifies constant hustle. It acts as if rest is basically laziness and stillness is some kind of complete failure. But we need to fiercely reframe that negative societal pressure right now. Rest is an essential part of growth. Stillness is a crucial part of gaining clarity. And silence, it's a completely necessary part of understanding. If you prefer staying home, you are not unambitious. Your aspirations aren't small, they're just internal. You dream of doing something deeply meaningful that reflects who you truly are, and you are simply taking the required time to build it.
And that brings us to your #1 priority when it comes to relationships. Listen, your desires for connection and achievement aren't small. Not at all. You just prefer deep, truly authentic connection. You don't want 100 strangers cheering for you. You want one. Just one person who genuinely understands you. You prefer real, raw connections over shallow small talk. You measure happiness in quiet moments, inside jokes, and genuine loyalty, not in loud, flashy events where you can barely hear yourself think.
Let's move to the next point and see how this builds your personal evolution, because time spent at home is not a paused life. Look at these highly active steps. 1. Observing the noise. 2. Healing in quiet. And 3. Becoming your true self. You see, you are actually engaging in an incredibly active process of self-connection. Because you feel things so deeply, you take the beautiful time to actually understand your emotions rather than just rushing past them to keep up with the frantic pace of everyone else.
Which brings us to our final section, a mentor's validation. Your quiet is powerful.
I want to speak directly to you right now. Let's dismantle every negative label the busy world may have ever placed on your shoulders. First up, you are not unambitious. You are simply building a life that doesn't completely exhaust you. You recognize what drains your batteries and what nourishes your soul, and you have the incredible strength to act on it. Your intentional, quiet life choices, they are completely 100% valid.
Second, you are not fragile. In fact, you possess this rare and beautiful quality called self-companionship. You don't fear your own thoughts. You don't run away from your heavy emotions. You can literally sit comfortably alone in a room with yourself and still feel completely whole. Let me tell you, that is not weakness. That is an immense, unshakable strength.
So the crucial point is this: you are protecting your peace. Recognizing exactly what you need to feel safe and grounded requires profound emotional wisdom. If the outside world once disappointed you, or if it just felt way too heavy, creating a safe space for yourself where you don't have to apologize for who you are, that is not avoidance. It's a brilliant, absolutely necessary form of self-care.
I want to conclude this with a final, lingering thought. Just think about this question. What if the world simply needs more people like you? People who listen before speaking, people who think deeply before acting, people who actually feel before pretending. Keep discovering those incredible worlds inside your own mind. Keep fiercely protecting your peace, and keep loving quietly but deeply. Because the profound truth is, the people who love staying home are exactly the ones who make this chaotic world actually feel like home.